Hi everybody, it's Derek with Deals with Derek and the Brew and Harry FeedX623 on Instagram. I hope you guys are having a great week and are as blessed as I am. Being the sun shines out, it's a little bit warmer. Sad there's no more snow and ice for ice skating and ice fishing, but summer's coming. Warm weather, days on the beach playing in the water, those are coming. This week I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna reference the story of Elijah and the prophets, but then put emphasis on the after that. So in 1 Kings 18, that's where I'm reading from or referencing from because I've read it. Um, there's a call. Elijah is put up against 500 prophets of an idol, Baal. And King Ahab says, get two bulls, one for Elijah and one for the prophets of Baal. And Elijah goes, you guys go first to the other prophets. So they lay their altar down and they start praying and all that offerings up to their God. And he's going, maybe you're not praying hard enough. Try harder. And nothing happens. So then comes Elijah's turn. And he has them put, I think it was 30 barrels of water on top of the sacrifice of the bull, on top of the altar. And he prays to God, and the fire god comes from heaven, soaks up the altar, all the water, the offering, it's all burnt down to nothing. Well, then King Ahab's wife Jezebel puts a call on Elijah's head. He gets scared. He runs to this far off way and hides under a tree and's like, oh God, I'm done. Take me. He was so scared. And what that comes from is sometimes when you do ministry and you're speaking for Jesus, you get spiritually and physically drained. And I believe he was spiritually and physically drained so that when just the fear of his life came over him. And that can happen sometimes. You go through things and you just get spiritually and physically drained. And that's okay because God's there with you in that moment. Because later in the story, he's hiding under the tree and God sends two ravens to him with some bread. He eats the bread and God says, take a nap. So he takes a nap. Take another nap. Does that. And he leads him to a stream, feeds him with water. So there's his rest. He's been fed. He's restored. But then he waits and listens for what to do next. And that's where it's really important too, guys. After you've been restored and you're rested and ready to go, careful how you listen because there's some sound in the cave. Wasn't it? It wasn't until he waited and was on top of a mountain and heard the voice of God. It was a whisper. Once he heard that whisper, he knew without a shadow of a doubt it was the voice of God telling him to go off to another city and minister. And so today I wanted to encourage you, if you feel drained and exhausted, don't think that you're at it alone. God is right there by your side, holding your hand, ready to help you through it. All you have to do is ask. Sometimes, like in Elijah's fact, he didn't ask. He was just given. God's like, nope, you did your good, kid. I'm going to give you some food, take a nap, here's some water, let's get moving. And that's my encouragement for you guys this week is to maybe you're in the season where you have to listen. You've been restored and you're regenerated and you have to listen. That's tough because your mind's wandering. But it's also, I always reference like using your binoculars to find birds. You have to fine tune, just like you fine tune binoculars to find that bird way off in the distance. Sometimes you have to fine tune your hearing, just like the voice in the cave wasn't God. It wasn't until he heard the voice on the mountain that was God. Sometimes we have to be careful on what we're listening to. The frequency, like a radio. Different frequencies have different stations. Same thing with the voice of God. Depending on what you've gone through, the voice that you're going to hear will be at a different frequency than what you heard from before. You may not need a grab your face, speak to you voice from God. You may need a subtle, gentle breeze. Sometimes we do need that. Grab your face. Okay, I need you to go here. Sometimes we do need that. But that all comes from practicing listening to God because he wants to talk to you. He wants to encourage you. He wants to love on you. That's what I got for this week, guys. May you find what season you're in, if you're at the exhausted stage, or if you're at a spot where you are called to go out and perform a miracle like Elijah did, or just some big ministry opportunity that comes along, where that goes, you feed the need, you go work at a homeless shelter, or you just be you and encourage the people around you. That's huge too. That can be draining. Encouraging people for 12 hours a day, it can be draining. But then, in that moments of rest, don't lose heart. Because you're drained and you're exhausted, your mind can wander. Don't get lost in the rest stage. Know that God is right there holding your hand. He's going to provide for you in the moments of rest. And then to listen and fine tune your hearing to know what frequency you need to hear from God this week. Whether it be, like I said, the grab your face or the nice calm breeze. That's what I got, guys. Just be careful on where you're at, and that you would know that God is never leaving you. Just like he didn't leave Elijah after he had performed a miracle and went out trying to escape God, like, I'm going to go to a tree, I'm done, let me die. And instead, God provided him with food and water and then directions on where to go next. To end today, I wanted to give you guys a chance to do the sinner's prayer. And I wanted to lead it with you guys today. Lord Jesus, we thank you for today and all your goodness, and we ask that you would come into our hearts, you would clean us out, you would forgive us of all the things we have done wrong, and that you would renew our hearts, renew our minds, renew our eyes, renew our ears, and renew our tongue, that we would speak of you and speak of your wisdom and joy and love to the people around us, so that we would have a heart change, that people wouldn't have to they would know that they would know that we accepted Christ by the way we speak, by the way we act. Because some people respond better by body movements than your voice. So, Lord Jesus, we ask that you would renew us fully, so that whenever we come around people, they would know that we have accepted Christ and we are new people. May you guys all have a blessed week. God bless.